that we're going to build this in Unity directly. Let me just bring this up, and I want to show you what I'm planning to do. So basically, if you're in the game, let me just start it in the editor. So we're using Unity, as you can see, as our editor. And then let's just enhance that, and let's go to a random, here, the one from last stream. The save, let's just load this. And then what I want to do is the following after it's finally loaded. Maybe did I forget to press load? Yes, I forgot to press load. In the editor, all the assets need to load. So let me just quickly do this, and then I want to show you what exactly I'm planning to do. Okay, so what I want to do is, if the player presses, what do we do? On my keyboard, it is the paragraph sign. This is not. Is this the paragraph? Yeah, this is the paragraph sign. They should, or the player should be able to open up a window, and in that window we have different buttons. And the button we will start with today is adding $10,000 or something. Eventually there will be different things that we want to have in there. One is like enabling debug flags for certain things, so you can easily access different functions. Adding money we already talked about. Unlocking everything, or maybe just unlocking certain things. Maybe we can just have a level increase, so we will see. Buy product, furniture, hire staff, get unlock points, so you can test the unlock system in the computer, and then add design points to test the web designer and unlock locations. But today we will start with this one, the at the 10,000, and setting up like the whole interface before we add too much functionality. If we in the hour get to more, we will do more. Great, let's have a look. Thank you, Max Jacobo Cohen. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's a lot of different names added together. I'm glad to hear that you're excited for the game. Good. So now that we said that, let's actually have a look at how we're setting this up. So I think the first thing, I'm still in the game, need to stop this. So the first thing we want to do is actually open our game scene, and then we're setting up a new UI. So we have stored most of our UI. We have two different systems. We have the UI system from Max Jacob Cohen. Okay, that was actually easier than I expected. Well, sorry for that. We have two different different types of UIs. One is UXML based, the other one is Unity UI based. For this one, we're going to use the Unity UI one because I know how to do that. In the future, we might have our expert on the UXML part on the stream as well, and he can help us with that. So let's quickly see. So we want this to be under the in-game menu so we can easily find it. And then for now, we're just going to, you know what, let's start with creating an empty so we can activate and deactivate different parts if we need later. If not, then we can just ignore that we have it and still use it. Good. How we're going to let's just call this debug console. Console. There we go. And now where do we have it? We have it up here. Great. Under this, I want to create. Let's just start with a normal panel, I would say. Oop, where's our panel? It is huge, and we can actually quickly unload this scene so we can see how it looks in game. So this is how it will, like if we activate the debug console, this is basically what it will do. So that's already great. Now we just need to have the function to bring it up, as well as closing it again. And then also make sure that we are going to have all the different restrictions on the player movement. Like for example, if we have this activated and we don't have any restriction in player movement or anything, the player will just have a very ugly thing in front of the camera, and that we don't want. So instead we want this to basically act similar, like if we go into this UI, like I can't move around anymore, my keys are used for the actual keyboard, I have the mouse available, all these kinds of things. So we want this to be the case. Okay, so how do we do this? The best thing, we probably want the debug console. I'm thinking if it should only be available inside or outside, as outside of the computer system, or inside as well. Probably want to have it everywhere. So I will add this to, we have something called the debug universe here. This is where we currently store all our debug universe in an empty game object that has a script attached, which is our debug controller. And this is probably what we're going to use as well to build a new system. As you can see at the moment, the debug controller, all it does is basically it checks, did I press a specific key? And then it does something. Like the T key, for example, gives me a lot of money, and then it also unlocks everything. Yeah, it unlocks everything that you have. But first off, we're running out of different keys. Secondly, it's not very convenient to use. And thirdly, every time I do a build of the game, I need to deactivate the debug controller because you can't really type with the keyboard if you want, for example, to set the descriptions of the products in game, because it will trigger all the debug commands, and that's not great. Cool. So what are we going to do? First off, I want to do a reference to, I'm wondering, should we do like a new debug controller? Yeah, let's do a completely new one. So we have a clean slate, debug controller new, and then we can deactivate the other one or activate it if we need it. So what did I just, oh, we want it wants to know where we save it. For now we just save it under assets. We need to do a bit of a cleanup. As you can see, we're a bit lazy and have a lot of our scripts in the asset folder, but this is a problem for future us. So first off, let's give it a reference to our actual what do you call it, debug window. And for that we just use what did I do wrong? Serialize. I will use the reference here. It is without the blank space in the middle. So we want to serialize a field, and this is supposed to be a game object, the one that we just created, and we call it debug UI. So let's just, okay, now we have created this. Let's just assign this in the inspector so we can continue with this. Also, if you have questions about the game, I'm also happy to answer them. Next week we will look into the game more again. I think we either this or the week after we will have someone on the stream as well to look at the website builder, and then we're going to interact with this a bit more. But I thought, since I'm alone today, this is quite a nice thing to look into. I also just realized you can't even see the editor that I'm using. Why is it not showing? Let me quickly fix that. Always great. Window. So we can do this and then quickly do this one. Perfect. So now you see this as well. So basically what I was talking about that you couldn't see was that we now have the serialized field up here, and we connect that in the controller. But before we continue with that, the first thing, rather this way, the first thing I want to do is actually make this accessible by pressing the button we specified before. So part of the code, like as you can see here in the old controller, is using the old input system of Unity, where you have like specific key, but we have started switching it over to the new one. So I will actually use the new one for that. And because I can never remember what exactly you need to do, we're going to copy it from another script that we have. This is our pickup item controller. Basically where all the actions you do as a player are hosted besides looking around and walking. And we're just copy and pasting some things from there. So first off, we need the input action assets. This is where we specify which button we want to press, and we need an input action. So let's quickly do that. This one, as you can see, it's still highlighted as an error because we haven't imported the library yet. Input action, was it input action asset? I think it was input action asset, right? Yes. And now this one is fine as well. And we will call this, what we're going to call this. We're going to call this debug. Yes, let's call it debug. So additionally, we actually need to enable the button or the action, and we need to assign it to something. Like, as you can see here, we actually need to make sure that the action we just defined is connected to the specific button that we will later define in the input action asset that we will reference in the script. So we will just copy and paste this one here. And actually, let's do this as well on enable. Was it on enable? I think on awake, exactly. Because we only want this to happen once. Awake only happens once, enable happens multiple times. So, and of course we want this to be debug, and we will later specify something that is called debug, and I think we will actually put it, I know already what is set up, but we have an action UI map for UI as well, so we will use that one. And then the last thing we want to do is actually do if we enable this script, we want this to we want the button to be enabled, and if we disable it, we want it to be disabled. So if we later want, I don't know what the use case would be at the moment, but if we later want to enable the button because we want to use it for something else or whatever, we can do that here. But you can see that's what we're doing here, where we simply say, okay, we can do that. Like so, and then I'm wondering, maybe we don't even need to disable. You know what, it's good practice, I think. I don't know if it's actually good practice. I'm self-taught, so maybe it isn't. Also, I hate this. Why did this say instead of on disable or disable? Great. D. And then we just want to have the same thing for disable. So now we have all this. We don't need a start function for now. And then let's have a look at what we're going to do next. So next, we actually need to have an update function where we check if the button has been clicked. So I can have a simple if function where we say if debug.triggered, then we do something. But before we do all this, let's actually connect our player controller to the script, and then also set up the debug action. So let me go here. Oh, it needs to recompile because, wait, I will change back to Unity. needs to recompile because we changed the scripts. And now I think let's use the player controls. I think it's this one. Yes. Can you see this if I move this over there? No. Let me see if I can change that by wait, let me I'm trying to set this up within OBS so you can it does not work. Wait, this one I think, yes. Okay, so now the transition might also be easier. Let me quickly do this, and then I would like to have this. So, and now I'm back too. Hi guys. Okay, so this is our player controller. So we want to we don't have the UI in here. I need to see if that's the right one, because I remember distinctly that I set this up last time. I did something with this. I'm a bit confused. Let me quickly see which one we have connected to our player controller, the reference script we used before as well, which is connected in the player settings, I think. Yeah, pick up item controller. I mean, I could have just looked. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to look it up here. We have the player controller, which is this one. Yes. So, I'm a bit confused, but hey, aren't we all a little bit? So let's just do this very quickly. Let's rename it to debug. And then we're going to assign it a keyboard key. Let's use listen so it finds it's this one. And then we can, I don't think we need it on console. If we later want on console, we can set it up here, but I don't know which button we would use for that yet. So let's just save here. Now, since we don't actually have the UI action map that I was talking about before, we need to go back to player. So now we should be good. So now to actually test this, let's have a quick enable and disable function. Hi, viral shield boy voy by voy. Posting links. I don't know what it is. And we can just use the reference that we did before for our debug UI. What do we want to set active? I think it is. Set active. No, but we need this, right? There's now. Okay, it's bool. So we need equals true. You can see I always need to look up everything. Why is this not this true? This is it. It was a mixture of everything I tried to do. Okay, so let's just try if that works. So to try this, we first need to deactivate this again, go into the game, and then just press the button, and hopefully it works. And if it doesn't work, we will figure out why. So first let's deactivate. Let's start the game. It's loading. And the moment of truth. It does not work. Great. exactly like planned. And the reason is I have give me a second. Why is it not working? The debug controller is active. We haven't connected the player controller. Yeah, it makes sense that to connect the player controller if you want to use the player controller. It's always the stupid mistakes that get you. So let's try again. Haha, it works. So now we do. Now we also need to make sure that we can close it again, hopefully with the same button. So what we're going to do is another statement. So if the debug UI is active, oh, it's obsolete. What? Set? But I don't want to use. How do I get the state? Let me have if debug UI enabled. No, not that either. You know what? We're going to solve it with a bool. Debug active. Also, I like to keep my my variables non-capitalized, and we'll start with false. So what we're going to do, we will actually just repeat what we just disabled, and we will check is this true, and if it's true, please disable the thing, and we're setting the variable to false. Oh. Also, we need to have the right boolean here, and else. Oops. We want to set it active and have this whole thing as true. So, okay, let's check if that worked. Quick loading time. Or reloading time, then loading time. And then activate, deactivate, activate, deactivate. Perfect. So now we also want to make sure that the player can't just run around like I mentioned before. So we need to, every time we activate the UI, we need to make sure that the player controls are disabled. So we have some functions for that already. So we're going to use that. I just need to find them. I don't know where we put them, which is a bit annoying. What we can do is, no, we're in the debug controller. In the pickup controller, if we are entering the computer, so you can see this is quite a big script. We can, let's see, we want to the left clicks. So these are clicks, these are the left clicks. And I want to have, if you click on a computer. So, yes, so this is how you fly there. And this is for the tutorial. Let's see where we are. That we don't need. That's for arrows. Make target cover. Let's see if this one actually deals with it. Start move. Okay, and then somewhere in there it should lock everything up. But I can't find it. So we're going to go back. Let me quickly think where else we have that. We have it when you click on the product, not the delivery box stack, to assemble new delivery boxes when you get the small UI to actually do this. So how do we call them? Man, half of game development is remembering the names of your variables, so you can find stuff again. Oh, we're also in the wrong script. Assemble. Okay, maybe it was box stack. A new delivery box stack. Okay. So basically you want to check, okay, if it's bigger than 0, we want to do something, but if it is not bigger than 0, here, activate this one. And, okay, if we activate this one, oh my god, this is very nested everything. Need to find, I don't want, so basically, here, this is exactly what I want. I want this little function. So basically what this does is, where is it? Yeah, it sets all the activities like the main camera, so you can't move around anymore with your, or look around with your mouse. You can't move around anymore. You can't use the action from the pickup item controller. Everything is basically locked there. So this is exactly the function that I want. So let's just add this to this one. And then we're going to add a similar one, but with false. Here. And now we try again. Step by step. Getting a bit. Thank you, Mr. Wellstrom. Wellstrom. I thought you couldn't watch today. Now wait for the reply, because you have a delay of a few seconds until you see what I'm actually doing here. Okay, let's try it out step by step. Are we in? We are in. Okay, so now when I activate this, I shouldn't be able to move from. Yeah, now you can't see it, but I'm furiously, maybe you can hear it through the microphone, I'm furiously clicking on my keyboard to move, but everything seems fine. And if I click away again, I can move again. So perfect. So now we have the setup for this. So the next thing we need to do is actually add some stuff to do in our little UI. So we will bring it up again and need to add some more stream. I'm reading the chat while I'm doing stuff here, so excuse my insolence. We will add some more UI elements here. So for that we actually go into the C. Oh, this is gigantic. Speed up. Yes, here you can see this is our UI window. These are the skyscrapers where the small office is located. The whole game is in this small area. This is our UI, dwarfed by the gigantic white screen of God. Great. We want we want to add let's say a button, and this is the button we all want to have. It is the money button. So let's just rename the actual thing money button. Mr. Money button. And then we're going to just add some new text. Add how much? What do we say? $10,000, right? $10,000. And to make it easier visible, we put a 0 here. And then let's just move the. Wait, let's go out a little bit. Whee. oops, that is we want to move the whole button. Let's move it up here, and also I want to have it bigger. Let's do double the size, 20, 60, and actually let's go a bit bigger. Yeah, so now we can see it properly. Good. We have this button. What we're going to do now in our script is also adding another serialized field just for this. There are other ways of doing this where you can search at the beginning through everything, but I like this is the most efficient way, at least as I found out through my research, to have connections in your script to different game objects. So we just call this the money button. So and now that we did that, just save the script and connect it to the script then. You should ask something funny. At the moment, I'm just talking to myself. But please feel free to ask funny stuff so I can talk to you as well. Where do we have the debug universe? The other half of the develop is finding where you have the actual scripts. Okay, so money button is there. Let's put the money button in. And now we have a money button connected. The next thing we want to do is making sure that we have an action assigned to the money button. We can do that in the wake call. So we are going to do money button dot get component, because what we want to interact with is not the game object. We want to access the component on the game object, which is the button. And then I need to remember the syntax again. Set. Hallelujah. I'm jumping so much across different functions in the game that I forget the syntax for everything. Wait, was it trigger? You know what? I will look. I will find a reference again somewhere. Where else do we have a button to press? In the analytics page, I think we should have a button. Do we have a button there? Yes, I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah, here. On click, add listener, delegate. Yes, exactly what we want. Oops. On click, add listener. And what we want to do is call a function, and we will call the add money function, which doesn't exist yet. So we're getting an error. So let's quickly get here, have a new function, void add money. Now this one is clear, and we can add something here. Great. So what we want to do is we're going to copy what we have here and just adopt it a bit. So this one was our old set our money to this amount. And as you can see, our money is actually handled in the money controller. So we will need to add another reference to the game. So let's just give this one here a header. These are the UI references. And then we have the other references, which we will put under the money controller, which we will name money controller, but not capitalized. And then we will, when we awake, we will attach the money controller, or we will tell the money controller that this is the this is reference to the money controller. So we have what the money controller is saved in this script, which is globally accessible, and there we already have a reference. Where is it? Here. The money controller already has a reference because it is linked in the specific script in the editor. So we can just reference that, and that instead of having to do this manually here again. Great. So this was the first step. The next step is we actually want to change our money. At the moment, we're just setting it to a value. But what I want to do is I will add money, right? So you click it multiple times, you get more money instead of just going to to 10,000 again. So we will just do a plus equal and then plus 10k. So this, and then this function, basically what it does, it updates this widget over here. I don't know if you can see, we want to test it anyway. Oh, actually before we it's loading. Here, this one, it updates this one. So we're just going to add this here. Let me deactivate that and go in and see what's going on. What's going on? I don't know how long I can sing before we get striked. Okay, and moment of truth. We're adding 100. Okay, but we're adding 100. That's something. The reason is that we actually, our money is an integer. So we basically, instead of having it in dollars, we're having it in cents. So this is actually $100 and 0 cents. So by adding 10,000, we actually need to make it, what's this now? 100, no, 1 million. 1 million is 10,000 now. So if we do this now, it will work. And we can have a quick look. Okay, it's loaded. Oh, it has recalculated that there are no bugs. Now we're loading the actual game. And now it's 10,000. Very nice. We can make ourselves rich. Great. Good. So that was the first step. We want to add money. So this was what I was planning to do today, but we still have 22 minutes to go, so we can get started on the next one. So we have add money, we have the unlocks, we have hire staff. I think the next most important thing is probably that we do an unlock of probably everything, because so for that, the first thing we do is we're going to actually add another button. We can just copy and paste this button, but instead of money button, we call it the unlock button. And we will just add something, unlock everything, and just move it down a bit so it doesn't collide with the other one. We will do a reference again in our script, in our debug controller new, and we serialize field, and then game object, and we will call it, what did we call it? The unlock button. Let's do this, and I will add this later. I will first do some more code. So we want to, you know what? We will just copy and paste this so we don't have to type it. Rename the unlock, the money button to unlock button, and then we will specify a new function. That's the name. And we will create that function. Void unlock all. Save. Now we will connect it, and then we will fill that function. Actually, let's first fill the function, and then we can try it immediately. So again, we can go back and see what we want to do here. And this is basically the function we used before to add to unlock everything. Now we actually have more unlocks beyond level 20, so we probably need to increase this, but we can just copy and paste this part here and put it into our new unlock controller. And what it basically does is it we first off need to reference the simulation initializer, but let's first talk over what it's actually doing. So we store a lot of the player information in the class that's the player company. There we say which level are you. And then it also in it we store which of the products have been unlocked, which furniture, which staff, which locations. So we have two, especially for the products, we have two layers of unlock. One is the unlocking by level requirement, that you have access to them, and then you also have the unlock points. We still need to find a better name for them, maybe trust points or something, where you then make a contract basically with the supplier to deliver them to you. So let's do that. So simulation initializer, we need to set that up. Simulation initializer, and semicolon. And then we also need to reference this. And the good thing is all those big scripts that we need in multiple ones were set up to be in the vars script. So we can just use that one. There we go. That's the first one. And then we need the level initializer. So the level initializer, we basically, in the beginning of the game, when you started, we are, I can show you, we are reading out from our data sets, okay, which kind of products and everything do we have? Actually, no, this is not where we read it out, but this is where we set, I think it's a dictionary, for every level, what should be unlocked at that level. So all the products, all the furniture, and so on. And what the script does is it basically goes level by level and checks, okay, in this level, what should be unlocked? Now unlock it by adding it to the player company's lists. And then at the end, where was I? Go to the next level until you have unlocked everything, until the level we specified. So what I'm going to do now is basically set this a bit higher because we have a higher level, and we're going to also, so this is, we can just change this number here instead of having to potentially make a mistake and not being able to change it at two places. We can just make sure that this is properly set. Or this is the same value. But we still need the level initializer. That's what I was initially talking about before I got derailed. And we can do that here. Level initializer, the same as before. Initializer, semicolon. And I think we have set that one up in vars I as well. I really hope so. And .I dot level initial. Yes, perfect. Everything is set here. And now everything up to level 50 should be unlocked. We will remove this one here because this is how many design points you have to unlock to properly unlock the products. And that I want to be on another button, which we can do next. Talking the whole time really gives you a dry throat. So let's get rid of this one, and now we have that. And the last thing to do is connecting it in the editor. Finding the debug universe, and here's the unlock button that we need to put in. Unlock button, let's deactivate that and give it a go. Until we know. Okay, activate it and unlock everything so nothing looks different. And now we can go in here and just check. Yep, everything is unlocked. Everything is unlocked. Let's see with the products. Yep, they are still locked, but they don't have level requirements anymore. It's all the unlock buttons now Great. So that worked too. Step 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 8. I wrote all the different things we want to have down in my little notebook here. So we have that. So the next thing is we want to add design points, not design points, unlock points to unlock those products as well. So let's just do another thing, another function, void add unlock points. And what we are going to do, again, this is what makes this relatively easy. We can just use some of the things we had before. So in this case, like there is the unlock manager that we could reference, but here in this case we are referencing it directly. Might be good, might be bad, who knows. And we will add, so I think we will, like for each thing, each click we will add 10 points. And then we will need to create another another button. Every time I say button, I need to think about Benjamin Button. At unlock points button. Benjamin at unlock points button. Here we go. Here we go. Just copy the specific name, and we want at unlock points. So let's see if we can add this to the debug console as well, and then try it immediately. We are activating it. We are unlock points button, and we write something like add 10 points, and then we move the whole thing down a bit, and then we need to reference it in our script, and let's test it. Love testing always. Very quiet chat today. Nobody wants to talk. Everybody is so enamored with my coding skills. See, unlock points. Okay, now we can check this in there. Yeah, we have 10. Let's quickly just add a few more just to check that it doesn't just set it to 10. And we have 20. Okay, you know what? If we also do all the unlocks, let's see if we can use them properly. Yep. Let's do the big one. We don't have enough. So there's some rebalancing required. Let's try another one. This one. Yep. Okay. Works. Perfect. Number 3 is done. So let's go back to my list. We have the add money, we have the unlocks, we have the unlock points, we can add design points next. So let's start with the script again. There will be another quick one. Add design points, let's go in. And then let's use this part. How many stored design points do we actually have? So normally they are created passively by you as a player, but then also they are web designers that you hire will create them for you. And let's just add, I don't know, 5,000 because that's quite required. Give me 1 second. And I'm back. So now we're adding 5,000 to the stored design points, and we just need to set up the buttons. A design point button, and let's change this here too. Design points, and we should be all good. So let's create this again. Or let's create the actual button. Like this, and just do a copy and paste of this one, pull it down, call it design points button. Get rid of this. Change the text. How much do we say we're adding? 5,000? 5,000. Add 5,000 design points, and then just the reference. Over and over again. Here we go. This. Also, we should save this. And then go into the game again. And test it. One more time. Okay, so first off, let's check how many design points we actually have. In the web builder, we currently have 7. What happens? Okay. So interestingly enough, the UI, if we're in this, is also open, but it's actually overwritten by it's behind what we're seeing here because it's in the sample scene, and this is another scene laying over it. So we need to see how we deal with that, but we will deal with that later. So design points. First we do functionalities. Let's see. We need to be here. I clicked it twice, or I pressed it twice. Yes, 10,000 design points. Let's see what we can do with 10,000 design points. Oh, the sidebar. Ooh, pizza delivery, nice. Ooh, we're adding a lot of news. Oh, that's so much stuff. Like tomorrow, not tomorrow. Next time, if we have time, when we get him here, we can actually look at the proper, like this tool. Oh, we don't have enough anymore. This tool, and talk through the design and what it's supposed, or what it's trying to do, and why we did it this way, and how it actually works. But this is a story for another stream. Good. Then we have done all the different adding points. I think we have unlock locations. That's just one thing together with all the unlocks. We need the button to buy specific products and furniture, but this will be a little bit more tricky because we're going to need a drop down and the button. Probably what we're going to do is have you select which product you want, and then you press a button, and then it's going to be created. We need to hire staff, and there we probably do the same thing. Drop down, and then you can press a button to hire the staff. And I think, and then there's the last thing, which is debug flags. But this will, I will need to do some investigation there before where we have debug flags. So debug flags are things like you can access the analytics page without having hired an analyst beforehand, or you can do, I don't know, you can hire something else without having to do, sorry, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. You don't have to deal with a tutorial, for example, right? The tutorial is skipped, things like that. So I would say the hiring and the buying is the next important thing. So let's, in the last 5 minutes, we at least can set up how it's supposed to look like in the debug console later. So what I was thinking is that we are actually going to add a drop down. That drop down we can call, so the first one could be the product selector. And where is it? Oh, it's small again. 320, and then we just double everything again. So drop down selector, and we can do something here, maybe a little bit further there. And then we have another button by product button, very important. And we will move this behind this. And this one will simply be used to, you select your thing here, and then this one is triggering the function to actually buy it. So buy selected product, or like we will not call it buy, so people don't get spawn selected product. So 3 minutes left. So I'm wondering if we should continue this next time, depending if we have our our friend here to look at the web or the web designer next week. Then we're going to do that, and if not, we're going to continue with this development for the debug console. So thank you very much for today. And let me just I was just told there was something wrong with the audio in the scene. So if you're still here, I just want to remind you again, we'll be back next week at 9 o'clock on Thursday. See you then, and have a great evening. Goodbye.